Everyone, welcome to Coco. I am Jen. Let's get started with our strong and steady class today. Let's start warming up our upper body by moving our arms in these circles, focusing on what our shoulders are doing, what our shoulder blades are doing, and really not paying attention to what our hands are doing because they are just victims here of this motion. Good, nice exhales. Good, and big circles, as big as you can. Nice and slow. Backstroke, first of the day. Switch arms. Today's class format, we're gonna go back to an AMRAP, as many repetitions as possible within a defined period. So we have our circuit that we're gonna do, and we're gonna run it for 6 minutes, okay? Come to standing and we'll hinge. So we have 4 circuits, so that means 24 minutes of work. That'll give us some time to get on the ground and do our core work, our Pilates on the ground. But first we're gonna get in some good strength building. Okay, so for our first circuit, we are going to use our step stool. I like to get that in right away. Okay, now let's do our body weight squats while we're fresh. So we're gonna get that into the first circuit. And we're gonna do step ups, but we're gonna do them a little bit differently in that we are gonna access the step laterally. Okay, so instead of stepping up and forward like we're going up a flight of stairs, we're gonna step to the side. So we're gonna leverage a little bit more glutes, outer hamstrings, those side muscles. Okay, so we have lateral step ups. And then when we come down after our lateral step ups, we're gonna do bent over hover arms, which we haven't done in a while. So our hover arms, we're gonna imagine that our fingers are skimming the surface of the water. And I want you to control this movement using your back muscles, okay? So your arms are extended out and you're contracting and lengthening through your back muscles to draw your arms from hips to overhead in a bent over position. Then we'll have a seated squat to curl to press, okay? And if you like, we can come away from the chair and just do body weight squat to curl to press. Okay, and then we have upright rows. So 3 elements with dumbbells, 1 without. We're gonna go ahead and do, let's do an odd number. Let's pick 7 reps of each movement and then we'll rotate, okay? So I'm gonna get my timer going. Oops, wrong password. For 6 minutes, all right? So hopefully you're nice and warm. Got some good blood flow going. Now, let me just demo this one more time or talk about it thoroughly. Okay, I'm going to use dumbbells and I'm going to focus on carrying the weight of that in my lats, okay? Now, I'm going to have my foot, I'm to the side of the step and I'm going to plant my entire foot on the step, press through my heel to come up. I'm not necessarily going to plant the other foot. So if I do it facing you, here's how I look. Okay, ready? Press my heel through and rise. I'm not gonna plant my foot. I'm gonna force myself to balance. If you cannot balance, then you can step over a little bit further, plant your foot, and then go back down. But if you can challenge yourself by not planting that foot on the step, that would be a great way to progress up. Okay, so what that means is we're gonna do 1 leg for 7 reps, move on. The next time we come back, we'll have to be mindful and switch to the other leg because we are not going to alternate. Or we could choose to alternate. Maybe that's a better way to do it so we don't leave 1 leg undone. We'll do 7 on each side before we move to our hover arms. Okay, you ready? All right, I started the timer. Okay, I'm planting my foot to the side. Exhale, press the heel through and down. Now I'm exhaling and contracting as I rise up, and I'm thinking about using the backside of my leg muscles, not driving from my knee. Good. Okay, I'm switching to the other side now. Foot down, entire foot down, engage through my heel to get my hamstrings and glutes fired. Pausing at the top, whether I plant my foot or not, I'm finding my new neutral, up. Good. One more. And down. Okay, nicely done. Now our bent over hover arms. Bent over, arms dangling. And then we're bring our wings back all the way to the hips and up to the ears and back.
And Sunny, any new revelations about Manny?
Good, continue.
Well, you know, Manny and I are going on, I guess, 22.
Good. Okay, I've got 1 and 2. Excellent. Now I'm reaching for my dumbbells again. I'm going to start my first set seated in the chair. Okay, conscious effort to dig the heels into the ground to rise. Exhale, curl and press. Keeping the dumbbells, keeping the weights as close to my center of gravity as possible, ensuring I'm loading my core, taking care of my core. Exhale, dig the heels, curl and press. 2 more. Good. Working slowly. Okay. Now I'm changing my grip on my weights. I'm going to widen my stance a little bit, soften my knees. Exhale, pull up the zipper, elbows to the ceiling and back down. All right, and your thoughts are, I'm drawing from the tops of my shoulders. I'm trying to not pull from my chest too much. I want the tops working. Good. 1 more. Good. Okay, I'm going to set them down, adjust my grip, and then I'm back to the top, my lateral step-ups. Place that heel. Ready? Dig the heel in, up and down with control. Now, obviously, the higher your incline, the more challenging this is going to be. So hopefully you found a good step stool, that the incline is just at the right level for you, okay? Focus on the heel, engage the glute before you step up. Visualize that contraction. We're lengthened down, contract to rise. Good, 2 more. 1 and 2. Excellent. Setting the dumbbells down. Work through those hover arms. Bent over, neutral spine. Exhale and inhale. Think about what your shoulder blades are doing in your back. They're nice and stable and broad across your back. You aren't overly retracting them. Good, 2 more. Exhale and exhale. Good, and rise. All right, dumbbells. Now with hover arms, that's actually a pretty tough movement to do to add in weights as we squat to curl to press. So if you had bottles of water, little 16-ounce bottles of water, that might be a good one to slowly add weights into your back. Good. Exhale. 2 more. Good, nice multi-joint compound movement here. Excellent. Okay, change your grip. We're ready for those upright rows. A little bit wider stance, soft knees. 2, pull up the zipper, belly button to spine, rib cage closes. Good. 6 and 7. Good. I'm going to lower the weights, adjust my grip. Step ups, ready. Plant that foot. Exhale. 1. Ooh, look at my balance. 2. There, better. Exhale into your core. 3, 4. Let's finish the set that we're on. 5, 6. Try not to drive from the knee, drive from the heel. Okay, let's switch sides. We're looking for glutes and outer hamstrings. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hips coming up together. 5, 6, and 7. Nicely done. Okay, dumbbells down. All right, good. Get some water as we talk about what's coming up next.
Jan?
Yes?
When you talk about digging in your heel on that one, which leg?
The leg that's up on the stool.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
You are welcome. Thank you for asking. Okay, now we're gonna do an RDL to a lateral leg raise. Okay, so if you notice, there's a theme here of balance, single leg balance. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a dumbbell and I'm gonna hold it along my belly button, not to my chest, but more to my belly button, closer to my center of gravity. I have my elbows back. Okay, and my RDL is my hip hinge, right? Hip hinge. And then I'm gonna shift my body weight as I come up, shifting the body weight over to the single standing leg. And then I'm gonna raise that leg and shift my body weight back to both feet. So that piece is really important for our balance, where your center of gravity lies, okay? So pay close attention to that. We'll alternate legs, okay? So, yeah, we'll alternate legs. All right, the next movement is a bent over tricep kickback. So we're very familiar with what we need to do with the bent over tricep kickback. Third, we're gonna do hydrants. So more glute work and hamstring work, hydrant to kickback, okay? So we'll be using our chairs. All right. Okay, and we'll do 7 on one leg, 7 on the other. Okay, so now to start, I'm gonna start the timer and we're gonna focus on RDL to lateral leg raise, okay? Ready, steady, let's go. Okay, elbows in. Bent over, melting the chest to the ground, engage glutes and hamstrings to rise. Shift and lateral leg raise. I'll turn this way. Exhale as you melt chest, engage through your hamstrings and glutes to rise. RDL, shift that weight, lateral leg raise. RDL, shift the weight, lateral leg raise. Good. I am pronouncing, emphasizing that body weight shift so you can see and be intentional about it. Good. Excellent. Okay, reach for your dumbbells, tricep kickback. Melt forward into that hinge again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Excellent. Okay, lower those dumbbells. Reach for your chair. All right, ready? We have hydrants, okay? So flamingo that leg Exhale as you sweep us to the side and then kick back, heel to the wall. Side and heel. Glutes and obliques. Combo movement out and back. Out and back. Nice and strong. Nice and sturdy in your torso. 7's right here. Good. Okay, let's switch sides now. All right, sweep out and back. Out, in, and back. Good. Focus your thoughts, hamstrings and glutes. Excellent. 6 and 7. Okay, done with the chair, reach for your dumbbell. Okay, another hinge, load that weight in your core. Exhale and hinge. Rise, shift, lateral leg raise. Hinge, lateral leg raise. Now remember, the most important thing is neutral spine. So it's not as important that you get your leg up as high as someone else's. What's important is that neutral spine and pulling from the glutes and obliques. Good. Okay, dumbbells again. All right, I have them both in each hand. I'm gonna hinge forward. Neutral spine, draw the elbows back. Exhale, straighten and bend. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, using your breath, and 7. Good. Okay. Now the compounding muscle here obviously is your triceps, because as we get into this bent over position, our triceps are our stabilizers, okay? But we're good. Flamingo leg, hydrant out, kick back. 2, 3, 4. Feel your parallel lines, shoulders, 6, and hips. Good. Don't concentrate on your thighs. We don't want those guys to be the predominant muscle group here. I switched sides. Keeping my arms nice and straight. 6 and 7. Good. Lowering with control. Back to the top. Okay. Weights in my center. Elbows are back. Lats are active. Hinge. And up. Center and leg raise. Good. Hinge with a wide stance. Draw your feet together so you can get your center of gravity. And then a leg raise. Good. Okay, tricep kickbacks. Melting. Let's get 7 before the buzzer. Ready? Neutral spine, bent over, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Excellent. Okay, dumbbells down. Okay, round 3 coming up. Okay, now we have sumo squats to press out. mountain climbers, standing front raise. And then standing oblique crunches. Okay, so more lateral work in those oblique crunches. So sumo squats, wide feet, heels in, toes out. We're gonna work, again, our lateral muscles, our innies and outies and glutes. Okay, you'll go as deeply as you can with your hip opener and with your core engagement. So you'll have the weight in your center, bend the knee, drop your hips, rise, and then press away. So that's what that looks like. Thereafter, we have chair mountain climbers, which we know. Then we have lateral raises, or front raises to lateral raises. So front to lateral with dumbbell in a standing position. And then we have oblique crunches. Okay, so more balancing. All right, so let's get into our good sumo squat. All right, heels in, toes out. Oops. Okay, dumbbell in, okay. Sink into your sumo squat, rise, exhale as you press away, staying nice and still. Sink, rise, press out. Sink, rise. Remember, use that breath. 2 more. Sink, rise. Sink, rise. Good. Okay, chair mountain climbers. So we're going to plant our hands on either side, walk ourselves out to high plank. All right, ready? 1, 2, we're talking knee thrust. 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, and 7, 2. Excellent. Okay, now front to lateral raise, okay? Create your own shock absorbers with the knee bend and the low belly. Ready? Exhale, front raise. And then exhale, lateral raise. That's 1. So I have palms facing, 3 in the front, and palms down. Trying to keep your torso as still as you can. 5, 6, 7. Good, dumbbells down. Now we can use our chair or not use our chair. Okay, we're working on our balance, finding our center of gravity. Ready? 7 on each leg. Hands at your ears if you can. 1, 2, contracting lat to oblique. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, chairs available if you need it on the other side. Otherwise, hands behind your ear. Ready? 1, 2, whoop. 3, exhale, 4. Pick that focal point, and 7. Okay, nice job. Back to our sumos. Okay, 1 dumbbell into the chest, heels in, toes out. Your patellas are actually pointed away too with your toes. Okay, ready? Let's sink. In, rise, press out. I'm exhaling with both ends. That's 4, good. Think about extending from your lats and not your shoulders. 2 more, sink, extend from your lats, and extend. Good, okay. mountain climbers. Nice incline plank. All right, hands clasping either side of the chair, stepping yourself out to your high plank. Exhale with each knee thrust. I got 2, 3, and 2, 4, and 2, 5, and 2, 6, 2, 7, 2. All right, excellent job. All right, front to lateral raise. Okay, now let's change it. Out front, let's do palms up. And to the side, we'll rotate and do thumbs up. Palms down to the front and thumbs up to the side. Palms down to the front for 3, thumbs up to the side. 5, 6, are you staying still? Strong low belly. Last one right here. Good, okay. Standing oblique crunch. All right, position your chair so it's available. All right. Hands at your ears. Exhale. 1, knee to elbow. 2, 3. Pick your focal point. 6 and 7. Now the ideal is you're swinging the gate open. The gate would be your knee. All right, so you have a good hip opener. You're not pulling it up in the frontal plane. It's out to the side, okay? Hands at your ears. Chairs available on the other side. Now exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, excellent work. That's our timer. All right, so get a drink while I explain the next round. We're gonna keep it moving. Okay, so the next round, a little bit more shoulder work. You can sit in your chair or you can sit in your shock absorbers, okay? Don't let your knees project forward. We're back, not here, okay? So we're back into our hips, weights back here in your heels. We're gonna do 360 curls. So that's that external rotation in your shoulders. Bicep curl, and then you're drawing a circle all the way out. Okay, we'll do 7 of those. And then if you have 2 different dumbbells, it would be ideal because then we're gonna do a dumbbell mountain climber. Again, we're seated in our shock absorbers and we're gonna draw a big rainbow around our body. So we're working on shoulder articulation and stabilizing your core, okay? Drawing that weighted circle around your body, that rainbow. So we'll do, we're gonna round up. Maybe 7 wasn't a great number. Let's go 4 one way and 4 the other way, okay? And then we have split stance work, so more balancing. We're gonna do flies, and then we'll switch our feet and do rows. Okay, so are you ready? Let's get this party started. All right, I'm starting the timer. Okay, oopsie. All right, let's go. Okay, so in my shock absorber, curl, outside circle, curl, outside circle. That's 3, 4, draw that circle out. 6, and that's 7. Okay, excellent work. All right, next, we're doing that rainbow. So grab that dumbbell, sit in your shock absorbers. Okay, now exhale, draw that circle around your body. 1, 2, working through those strong shoulders. 3, out, up and over the head and back. Change directions. It's kind of similar to our halos, right? Except for we're just working up and not back. Good, that's 4. Okay, now our split stance work. Remember, you can usually row more than you can fly. All right, so split stance. All right, that front knee is bent. The back leg is straight. We're hinging forward into an angle. Arms are rounded. Exhale, draw the elbows back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now the intention here is to get a little more body weight on that front leg and force yourself to balance, right? Okay, so now I switch. Now I'm gonna do rows. I'm gonna reach for heavier weights because I can row more. Okay, now my left leg is forward with that gentle bend. I'm hinging. Exhale, elbows to the ceiling, drawing from my back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, exhale, rise. So where you should be feeling it in your legs is all in those hamstrings and glutes, okay? So now we're back at the top. Get in your power stance. Get in that shock absorber, okay? Ready? Bicep curl. Curl. External rotation. Curl. Draw that circle out. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Excellent. Okay, set 1 dumbbell down, shock absorber legs and hips. Okay, ready? 4 each way as we rainbow. 1, 2. Now as the weight moves to the opposite side of you, you feel yourself really gripping with that lat to oblique. So as the dumbbell crosses over to the right, my left lat to oblique fires up. 4. Good. Okay. Split stance. All right. I'm doing left foot forward, right foot back, knee is bent. I'm going to do flies so my arms are rounded, back is flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Good. Alternate. Bring your feet together. Step back. Hinge forward. Now I'm rowing. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Elbows being drawn to the ceiling. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, draw your feet together and rise. All right, 360-degree curls. Okay. All right, so we're back in our shock absorbers, knees bent, heels into the ground, palms up. Let's go. Curl, rotate, curl. 3, 4, torso still. 5, 6, 7. Good. Okay, what's on fire next? Rainbows. Okay, so dumbbell in the middle. Ready? In your shock absorbers and up and over for 1, 2, 3. Drawing that rainbow. 4. Switch directions and 1, 2. Feel your inner thighs helping to keep your pelvis still. 3. in 4. Excellent. Okay, split stance. We're gonna get this last round of work in. Okay, right leg forward with knee bent, left leg back, hinge, rounded arms, let's fly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, draw your feet together. We'll put the dumbbells away because we're gonna make our way down to the ground for our last work. All right, our Mat Pilates core work. All right, so let's think about how we get down. If we're in our good split stance and our core is engaged and our glutes engaged, we're gonna lower with control, exhaling, nice and neutral onto that knee. So now I'm in a good half kneel. I can hinge forward, dropping my hand, draw my other knee, and now I can make my way down to the mat. Okay, so we're gonna start with our low belly warm-ups, but then we're gonna do some side lying work because we haven't worked enough of our obliques and glutes today. No, just as an introduction because we haven't done it a lot yet. Okay, all right, so I'm on my back on the ground and I'm trying to mentally create my imprint, right? Preserving my neutral spine, that's what it's about. All right, my head is heavy into the mat, my palms are down, my lats are soft, my chest is soft. And I inhale into my rib cage and I exhale into my low belly. And if you can visualize as you exhale that your low belly is like a tube of toothpaste, that you're contracting, drawing down towards your spine, with the intention being these are the muscles that are going to take care of my spine. And now imagine that you're getting the last bit of toothpaste out of that tube, okay? Exhale, contract, squeeze as hard as you can without disrupting your pelvis. Now with the next one, you're gonna exhale and go through that body setup, your pelvic floor transverse, also that rib cage, and then your right leg is just gonna float up off the ground. And exhale, float it back down. And left leg, exhale, float, and exhale, return. Think about your imprint. Think about how heavy your hips are into the mat. As you continue this work, your mindset is your legs are a dead free weight for your core. And your core is what's driving and pulling your knee and that leg off the ground. Continue to alternate. Continue to think about your imprint. Good. All right, now extend that right leg flat on the ground, left leg remains up, and exhale, draw the leg up over the hip and lower. And raise and lower. Exhaling with each bit of movement, thinking about your heavy pelvis, your strong core. If you're using your right leg, perhaps you're thinking, oh, my oblique is firing to draw my leg up. I'm not pulling from my quads. I'm using a little bit more energy from my core to drag my leg up toward the ceiling. Good, return that right leg down. Bring the heel to the floor, extend the left leg. That same leg raise work. That same neutral spine. Neutral spine for your lumbar area means you're not pressing your low back into the ground. It's got all of the natural spacing that you have in your spine. Exhale, pelvic floor transverse, rib cage closing. Good. Okay, one more tiny bit of warm up. Let's go through our bridge. Okay, so our heels are both down to the ground and our palms are down, chest is soft. You're gonna exhale into that low belly. So now our visual, instead of maintaining a neutral in my pelvis, I'm gonna allow it to rock forward as I drag it down there with the contraction of my belly, okay? I'm not driving it from my glutes. I'm pulling on my belly muscles so hard that I'm tipping it forward. I like the cradle analogy. So you're rocking this cradle, neutral and rock. Exhale, you're gonna rock so much and then fire through your hamstrings that your tailbone floats, your sacrum floats, continue to wrap like mad, driving from the heels until your pelvis is at the top and your shoulders are at the bottom. The strength of your bridge is being held by your hamstrings and glutes and your belly. And then soften through the chest, begin to soften through the lats to melt one vertebrae at a time back down to the ground. Good. Let's take one more. Exhale, heavy belly. Tailbone begins to float up as pelvis rocks, sacrum floats. Transverse wraps as we begin to work lumbar all the way up to thoracic toward the ceiling. And then begin to soften through the chest and lats as you lower one vertebrae at a time. Toward the mat. Okay, good work. Now we're going to roll over onto our sides. So I'm going to roll over and face you. Now, if we are in this side lying position, I want you to think about my spine is in its neutral. And at the hips, I'm going to bend and bring my legs forward. So like I'm a check mark is the common analogy that we use. Now, your shoulders should remain in parallel. I'm just altering your positioning, but we still want parallel shoulders, parallel hips. Now, hopefully none of you have bursitis or any sort of thing that this is going to aggravate your hips. But what you do find is suddenly your head isn't supported by the floor or your shoulder. There's this gap, right? So if you need to, this is where a pillow would come in handy if you had it, or a yoga block, or some people will just fold their elbow underneath their ear and support it that way. So find whatever support you need to take care of your head, okay? So now we're in this side lying position, okay? So side lying muscles, we want to remain this parallel. So whether I'm down on the ground or elevated slightly, I like to raise my top arm toward the ceiling to help remind me that my shoulders are stacked and my fingers are reaching for the ceiling in this position, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to work on the muscles on the top, okay? So here on my left side, I have my obliques, and from the hips down to my knees, I have my glutes and the side of my leg, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exhale and contract both simultaneously and bring them together. So exhale and return. And return. So it's glutes and obliques. Maintaining shoulder stability, maintaining pelvic stability. remembering to raise from your heel and not your toe. Okay, if you open up and raise from your toe, then your quads are doing more of the work, and we want to raise that leg from your glute, from your toe, or from your heel. Good. Okay, hopefully now you're getting a nice burn in your glute, and you can feel that contraction activation happening in your oblique. And that was working in one plane of motion. So that's our baseline. Okay, how we elevate from there is to work in a different plane of motion and force ourselves in a situation of instability to create stability with our core. Okay, so our shoulders and hips are stacked. So we're going to exhale, and I'm going to take my hand down for now because I want us to really focus on what's going on in our leg and our glute. Okay, so I'm going to exhale, contracting through my oblique and my glute, and float my leg up. And now it's parallel to the ground, okay? And it's flexed, but not with any particular energy. Okay, now I'm going to contract through my hamstring, dragging my heel toward my butt, and then straighten and exhale and draw my leg forward only so far as I can, but keeping my pelvis still. And then draw it back to neutral and contract through the hamstring, bringing heel to butt, and continue. So now we're beginning nice and slowly to measure, can I keep my pelvis still and my core tight and active? Using my breath. The hardest part of this work is drawing that foot forward into the frontal plane. Exhale into that low belly and back, heel to butt, straighten. Exhale into that low belly and back. One more. Heel to butt, straighten. Exhale. Only draw it as far forward as you can and maintain a still pelvis. Now, as you're able, keep that leg up. And the third element is drawing teeny tiny circles with your heel. Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change directions. And 1, 2. Breathing into that stability. 4 and 5. And exhale as you lower that leg. Now, if you're feeling an intense burn, you draw your knee forward to the front. Good. And you get a nice stretch in that glute. Okay. So we're working on these side-lying muscles. Obliques, low belly, not really side-lying, more centered, but glutes. Okay. Now I'm going to break dance over to the other side. Okay. Good. All right, now, same positioning. We're in a nice parallel on our hips, supporting our head. All right, fingertips to the ceiling. Do I have my parallel shoulders? Do I have my parallel hips? Okay. Now, you can leave your arm up or not for this, but we're going to exhale and float that top leg off, contracting obliques, and then glute. Ready? Exhale. 1. Always initiating the exhale before you move. Last one, exhale. Good. Okay, take that leg down. You can bring your arm down. You can palpate your obliques if you need to. Sometimes we are not very familiar with where our obliques are and how to activate them. So remember, if we poke that muscle, it's a tangible reminder of where it is. Okay, ready? Exhale, float that leg to parallel. Okay, exhale, draw the heel to the butt. Straighten. Use your exhale to draw that leg forward, contracting through that oblique. And return. Heel to butt. Straighten. Good. Slow is good. Slow is hard. This intentional movement allows you to identify what muscles you're using. So be a thinker. Contract through the hamstring to draw the heel and lengthen. Use that oblique to draw the leg forward. One more here. Good, legs extended. Let's take our small circles, ready. Lots of variation going on here in the hip. Lots of opportunities to be unstable. So work that core from the pelvic floor on up. Good, change directions, exhale. And 1, 2, and 3. Lower that leg with control. Draw the knee forward if you want to help stretch. Now, the finisher of that is I was working my right side, so my right knee is forward. I'm gonna extend my left arm out in front. And then I'm gonna twist, opening up my chest to the ceiling. So now I have both palms facing the ceiling to get some rotation in my low back. Now, if your arms can be teed out, great. If you were searching for a position where both shoulder blades can be down on the ground and you're not quite there, lower your hands down toward your hips a little bit more and think soft in the chest, heavy in the lats. Good. Okay, I'm going to bring that arm over and bring my legs together and press myself up off of the ground. Okay. Great job today, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today is Thursday, so I will see you Tuesday at 10 a.m. Let me know how it goes if you have any questions. That was sideline work that we worked on today. And we'll continue as we learn bits and pieces. We'll integrate more and more into those sessions. Thanks so much. Have a great day and a great weekend. Bye.